Hey there. I woke up way too late today because I stayed up too late last night. I was like on the phone with people and taking the metro until midnight. It was not cool. But now I'm up, and I got up like earlier this afternoon. It was all right. Blog post just went up on Go Overseas about networking at conferences that I'll probably send links to people to. Then I'm done with my interview with the Congresswoman to be, Erin Schrody. So lots of good online stuff happened, just no good real world stuff. So that's why there's my Uber. I'm going to a networking event. It'll be fun. Networking events always, all the time, constantly networking events. Networking events, the networking events are over. So it's 3 a.m. now, and I closed all the windows so that the neighbors can't hear me talk because they live really close, like a couple feet away. The house is like right there. That's beside the point completely. Anyway, networking events. I am starting to understand more and more now that I like meet people and try to do real things in the world as an adult, which I'm still kind of new to, which is a shame because I'm 23. I shouldn't be new to that. But anyway, as I do that more and more, I'm realizing that introductions are the way things get done for a reason. And apps that like, you remember Bump, the app that you would bump your phones together and would trade contact information? Apps like that are never going to take off because they don't actually solve a problem. Because when you meet someone and you trade business cards with them, it saves face to be able to be like, yeah, I'll follow up with you. Thanks for talking. It was really good meeting you. Even if you don't necessarily mean that, because you don't want to necessarily trade contact information with that person right away. So plausible deniability, not being able to give out your card, like that sort of thing, those are valuable tools to politely interact with people when you're meeting them. And then choosing not to follow up afterward is another very polite way to just like, I don't want to work with you because you're not the sort of person I want to work with, or so on and so forth. Anyway, the more people I meet, the more I'm realizing that it's very hard to differentiate between people who are actually doing things and getting things done and are reliable and dependable, and people who are just like out for themselves and don't really do anything and just sort of suck people's time. And so I've been doing a lot of internal evaluation to figure out like, what sort of value do I provide? Like, how can I be helpful for people? What are my goals when I go out to meet people and network? What are the projects that are really important to me that are worth telling people about in situations like that? Because I have a million things going on. There's the aerial photography project and the online course, and there's this living in 3 cities thing, and there's education stuff that I care about, and there's startups I want to work on. There's ideas that I want to turn into companies, and on and on and on. There's 1,000 videos projects. There's things that I forget that I'm working on. There's like alarm app and things that I've had to like put away for months or years just because like they're not right at the top of my priority list. Anyway, I'm not sure which of those things to bring up with which people, and I'm not sure which things I really want to make a part of my personal narrative. And it's hard to tell what things I should talk about with who. And so anyway, the whole point of this rant is that I understand why the world functions on an introduction sort of basis. Let's change the camera a bit. That got boring. So anyway, I realize why things need to work on introductions, because it's a more reliable way to tell who is actually doing things and who you might want to work with than almost any other indicator that exists so far. One that is slowly replacing introductions is number of followers, right? So if you have a platform and an audience, people are already listening to you, then the people you meet have some indication that people should listen to you and that they should listen to you in particular. So number of followers is another great way to really get to replace the same sort of like value determination that is made when people make introductions on behalf of other people. But until until number of followers fully replaces introductions in our society, and I don't think it will. I don't know when it would completely. But until that's the case, being introduced is still probably the most powerful way to expand your network. Being introduced to other people by people who trust and like you, know, like, and trust you, right? So, with that in mind, I think probably the most important distinction that I may have made recently is that the most high leverage thing you can do is make sure you're creating something that is worthwhile and that you're proud of and that you're willing to share with other people or that can help other people. And then get that in front of as many people who have platforms or have access to the audience you want as possible until one of them recognizes you and introduces you either to their audience or to someone else in their social circles, wherever you're trying to go, right? It's just important to get recognized and then promoted by people who already have voices. And so that is the lesson that I am learning this year and that I'm really crafting carefully and refining. So I thought I'd rant at you a little bit about that because that's what's on my mind as I do all these networking event type things. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. This is one of 3 videos that I make a day. Yeah, I still mostly make 3 videos a day. It depends on the day. But anyway, this is part of a project to make 1,000 videos in a year, which is a lot of videos in a year. You should watch some of the other ones because they're all very different. I do a lot of things. Thanks for watching. Au revoir.